that I would do a lot because I would like input into subjects that I could make a series of videos over. I just finished one series of videos and I am looking for suggestions over subjects I can do. I also have started just recently a series of joke videos. They are something I'm just doing for fun and are going to be periodical. I would like it if people could let me know about subjects that they would like to hear my thoughts on and share their thoughts on as well. If it's not while it's streaming, perhaps it can be for when it's posted. This is the first time I've done a video such as this, so it's more of a learning experience for me. Just please be patient as I learn to use the live streaming feature on here. I've done so with a similar feature on Facebook, which allows me to save the videos, but I am not certain exactly what the ability of live streaming on here will give me. There are many things that I would love to discuss. Perhaps the first thing I would like to talk about is the way that people act and behave. I am amazed how I see kids these days behave. If I would have behaved the way that many kids these days behave. Sorry, I just was moving my computer a bit. If I would have behaved the way that a lot of kids behave today, I would have been grounded until adulthood. I would have been so grounded, you would have needed a pick and shovel to dig me out of the pit that I had been grounded into. Now, there's kind of a technical joke about grounding. It's a term that some people will use when sticking something into the ground, like a post, or when they're grounding something to stabilize it. It can also be a mechanical or electrical term for making sure that something's secure and safe. Anyway, seriously, if I would have mouthed off at someone older than me, I would have been definitely grounded. Doesn't matter who it would have been. An older person, stranger uptown. No. I would have been definitely grounded. And back in my days, grounding would mean you go to school and you come straight back home and you go to your room and do your homework until dinner time, which you would be called out and you would sit quietly at the table and eat and then go back to your room. Now, there were also restrictions. I mean, people think, oh, they just put them in the room. They got lots to play with and keep themselves amused. That's why there was a second aspect to the grounding we received. We could do our homework, sit and contemplate what we did, or study a book, but there was no playing around with toys or video games. Yes, they did exist in my days. We had the Atari. Anyway, none of that. No TV watching. You were grounded, and by that I mean you were forbidden to do what you like to do, and you sat there quietly and behaved. That doesn't mean that person or child is going to be deprived of what they needed. I mean, if you had to go to the toilet, or if you needed to have a shower, that's one thing that was allowed. But restrictions. That's what grounding was. It put restrictions. I think parents need to take control of their children and try and teach them how to behave. It's like we've told how to teach our children to behave. And if they get snarky or don't want to listen to you, remind them this: what comes around goes around. And maybe one day they themselves will grow up to have a family with children. And those children are likely going to behave the way their parents have in the past. I meant. Because they, for sure, are going to hear from grandma and grandpa exactly how their parents behaved. And if unknowingly you treat your parents with disrespect in front of them, or if you treat someone older with disrespect in front of them, that's the behavior they're going to emulate. And they will, trust me, use the excuse that, well, grandma or grandpa told me that you did this. So think about how you are behaving. And this goes to all people who may be listening. Whether you be an adult or a child, your behavior will come back to haunt you. So I welcome any additional thoughts that people may have on how we behave. Let this be our subject to talk about today. If anyone has any comments to make on the subject, to maybe share how they themselves behaved, or how kids in general behave today, whether they be theirs or strangers' children, feel free to mention it in the comment area. And please do so in a manner that is not offensive or could upset someone who maybe has children listening to the video. Anyway, that's my thought for the day, is how the behavior of people in general has changed over the last half century. We look at the world today and we complain about how people are acting. We complain about our leaders. We complain about kids. And we complain about society in general. But think of it this way. We shaped, through our behavior, the society that we lived in, that we are living in today. So let's try and work on creating a better society. And we can do that easily. Well, maybe not easily, but we can do a better job of creating a better society if we ourselves try to behave in a better way, and in that way be a better example to the people who follow us in future generations. That's the way to make a society better. Anyway, enough babbling for now. If anyone does see this video, hopefully you will take what I mean to heart. It is not meant to be critical or anything. I mean, back in my days, people already were complaining about how kids my age, when I was just a child, behaved. But I have seen a steady increase in the ways and bad manners generally that have progressed in the last few decades. At one time, we wouldn't have thought of using certain vulgar words in front of your kids. Now it seems to be standard practice. What are we teaching our kids? What are we teaching future generations? What are we doing to help make our society, our general society where we live, a better place to live? Don't criticize the society you live in if you yourself have been part of the problem. And that's all I'm trying to say. I hope, like I said, no offense is taken. I myself have to be careful with how I behave. And I wasn't the perfect kid growing up. I was a little stinker. But for the most part, I tried to behave. It's just when I would lose my temper over someone else doing something that bugged or annoyed me or tormented me, then I could be just as much as a stinker as they were. But I try. And that's all I'm asking you guys out there to do, is to try. Let's make this a better place, this world a better place, and be a good example to those who are going to follow us. If you think it's bad now, think about what it'll be like if the trend that our behaviors have started will be like in, say, 100 years, or even in 50 years. Just think about it. You want to put an end to hate? You want to put an end to discrimination? You want to have a safer environment to live in? Start with yourself. Be a good example of how you would like others to be. Enough for now. I hope this video helps you. And if there's anyone out there listening, I hope that you gain some insight into my thoughts. And please, if you would like to, feel free, if it's possible, to share this video, because like I said, I am not experienced with using this live chat feature on YouTube. Hopefully I'll be able to talk with you again and do another video this way. Take care, everyone.